All right, and we are back. 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 Welcome. All right, and we are back. And today we're back with another reaction video. And this one's going to be a little bit different because this time we're getting a little bit political, guys. And I already know half the people are already going to hate this video no matter what it is, and some people are not. Now, based on the fact that this has already been titled, you already know which side is going to hate this and which side isn't. Or maybe I'm going to be surprised. Maybe both sides are going to hate this video. So we're going to go ahead and check this out, guys. This is actually going to be brought to you by Channel 5. That's right. Andrew Callaghan himself is back making videos. So we're going to go ahead and check him out. I haven't seen this guy in a while. So let's go ahead and see what he's up to. If you haven't heard of Channel 5, make sure you go to the channel, like, subscribe, comment on all their videos. The link will be in the description below. And while you're down there liking and commenting videos, you might as well go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to this video right here. Subscribe to the channel, guys, because you never know what I'll put out next. And I do have one last thing to say. It's I barely ever mention it, but if you guys don't like, comment, and subscribe, more importantly, subscribe, YouTube will come through that door right over there, and they will Palestine March on DNC.
My name is George Chidi, spelled C-H-I-D-I. Okay. I'm a journalist. I write for The Guardian.
Oh, The Guardian?
Yeah.
What up,
Big
George?
paper, London, 9th largest English language publication in the world, The Guardian. Because I'm a legitimate journalist. Who are you?
I'm Saddam.
Saddam who?
Saddam from Channel 5.
Like local?
No, Channel 5 on YouTube.
Yeah, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. What's your fucking problem?
I don't have a problem.
I think you do. I am still...
Well, where did this... Where's this coming from? Are they cutting out the part where they had like a huge argument or something? Because that seems out of left field.
arrogant a man who
I thought this guy was a journalist. Why is he getting so
claims
upset?
to be a journalist and will not identify themselves. You're a fuck up. Legit.
Well, to be fair, he did identify himself. He told you his name was Hassan from Channel 5, or Saddam from Channel 5. I'm sorry, but like, yeah, I feel like this isn't like something to be this upset about.
Legitimate journalists will take issue with this. And once I'm done with all of this shit, George Chidi, I'm a journalist for The Guardian.
Wow.
I'm going to find out what the hell this bullshit is about.
All right, figure it out.
I will.
Yeah.
This is fucked up.
Yo, what's going on here? What is up with this guy? What's his problem right now? Hey, people say the people on the right are upset, but I'll tell you right now, it seems like people on both sides seem to be very upset. It goes from 0 to like 1,000 really quickly. What is happening?
Your people are fucked up. The folks who are listening to this asshole are fucked up.
Damn, guys, that's us. Guys, he's saying we're messed up because we watched this video. What's happening? It's 50 seconds in. Calm down, buddy.
You should be ashamed of yourself if you're giving this guy clicks.
Bro, you work for The Guardian. Come on now.
We're here at the DNC. I got verbally assaulted by The Guardian. They told me to get a press pass. I got a press pass.
Channel 5 is in the building in Chicago, yes!
Hey.
Right on. I wish there wasn't a genocide. I wish there wasn't 500,000 to a million people dead. I wish It's Not Real was not a colonizer state. I wish 75 years of oppression didn't happen. As an Ashkenazi Jew, I know my family's past, and I wish that none of this shit was going on because we wouldn't be here right now.
Okay, guys, so here's the part where you guys all been waiting for. My opinion on what's going on in the Middle East. Guys, it is complicated. Now, I don't know where to even start with this one because one, man, it's like I understand why Israel is a place. I understand why Palestine is a place. Now, what I don't understand is like how come after the agreements initially started, it seems like more and more territory gets taken over. And like when you just, I don't know, it's like I'm not there. I'm not like the most in depth on the situation, but when I do see like the vitriol in people's eyes when they talk about like hurting the people who live there in Palestine, I'm just like, dang, that's crazy. Like you shouldn't have that much like that lust for like, you know, destruction in your eyes when you talk about the people like that. You know, that's wrong. I don't care who you are. That's wrong, guys. Uh, you know, and then also here's my thing, and maybe I'm misinformed. So somebody update me in the comments here. From what I heard, like most of the people they're fighting against, quote unquote, in Palestine are like underage. Like like the majority of their citizens are like under the age of like 21. So it's like, what real military would have this much difficulty maintaining a bunch of people, you know, who don't have like, you know, real military, training and, you know, are just kind of like doing whatever they got to do. Like if you're, you know, you're one of the biggest militaries in the world, I feel like you should have had this, like if it really was a thing where you're not just trying to like hurt random people, you should have this figured out really soon, really quickly. But that's just me though. You know, maybe I'm wrong. Somebody educate me in the comments here. I'm sure somebody will educate me in the comments. But yeah, man, you know, hey, it's sad. It's sad, and I don't like it. And you know what? I do support, you know, free Palestine. But yeah, also, you know, shout outs to Jews. Jewish people are cool. You know, it's just the Israel Jewish state itself that I'm like, what's going on with you, buddy? You good? You wanna, you know, you wanna like talk this out with some other countries right quick? You know, you got some aggression here. It seems to be a little bit more like you know, a little bit more than what's necessary for the situation. And I get the situation is crazy on both sides. Like I'm not taking away anything, but I will say, come on, man, it don't look good for you guys, you know. And I'm American, you know how many things don't look good for America, you know, a lot. So when people, you know, when I'm saying it don't look good for y'all either, I'm not saying, oh, my country's great. I'm saying, hey, from one country that does a lot of stuff to another country that's doing some crazy stuff, relax on all the crazy stuff, you know. You know, hey, South America, don't come for us.
The only thing that I'm happy about is that you're here.
How has it been for you, I guess, as a Jew to stand alongside the Palestinian movement?
It took about 3 days for me to figure out that I didn't know what the hell I was talking about for the last 47 years.
Some of the images, like this attack on a kibbutz called Be'eri, have already been widely seen.
And now I fully see where the white supremacy pyramid is, and it's Israel. You can't oppress people for that long and then expect them just to be happy about it. Somebody had to do something. Netanyahu knew it was happening. They knew for a year. Our CIA told them at least 4 days before. Egypt told them 4 days before. They knew. So they wanted this to happen so they could take back all the land.
It's all their ambitions to get the land, to get Gaza. It's a prime real estate.
And also Netanyahu's running from 3 federal indictments, and now he's just running to save his life.
Last week we had a massacre at a school where 150 was killed, dismembered, beheaded.
The floors covered with bodies, blood and limbs.
Wow.
Rescue officials say they found around 100 bodies.
Israel.
Yeah, so like there's no like justified reason why that should have happened, you know? Because they weren't just like, oh, it's a bomb that went wrong or something. No, they were beheaded. You know, that probably shouldn't have happened. And it's like, man. So people, I already know. So people are gonna say, oh, it wasn't Israel who did that. Okay.
Accuses Hamas of hiding behind the civilian population.
Israel has accused Hamas of using civilians as human shields in Gaza.
And at the same day, we sent a $3.5 billion of weapons, 2,500 pounds of dumb bombs.
The U.S. just the other day announcing that it was going to be releasing $3.5 billion.
So here's the thing about the U.S. selling weapons. And this is why, again, I say America ain't perfect, you know, because this thing we have in America called capitalism exists. So like we gotta make money, you know, and it's like it's really like almost in the laws where like companies have to make money and make more profit. So it's almost like, you know, again, it's just one of those things where your hands are tied behind your back as a citizen. I don't agree with everything we do in this country, but, one of the things that they do is they sell weapons for money to other countries, and mostly countries that we work with, sometimes countries we don't work with. But it is for a profit motive. There's no morals behind it. It is immoral, actually, and we do it anyway because that's just one of the ways we make money. So yeah, there's that part. I don't know if there's too much stopping that from happening unless we all go to become like a different type of country where capitalism isn't like the main driver of every decision we make as a country.
Dollars worth of long-term military funding.
I'm not down with oppression. I've been fighting fascists all my life, and honestly, Israel's gone so far in the paint, they don't deserve to be a state anymore. One state, Palestine, where it was for 3,000 years, and everybody coexisted, including my cousins and my ancestors.
Arms embargo now, ceasefire now, and U.S. aid to Israel now.
Where are you from? Are you from Chicago?
I'm from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
How do you feel about walls?
Oh, I have a lot to say about walls.
If Trump gets a chance to return, he's going to pick up exactly where he left off 4 years ago.
So Governor Walz is the biggest friend of genocide. He's the best friend of genocide.
Oh, wow.
And he invests over $157 million of Minnesota state pension funds in Israeli companies. And now that's just Israeli companies. That's not also weapons manufacturers that are complicit in Israeli occupation.
The safe word investment, which...
I mean, not every Israeli company is going to just, be in full support of this, I'm sure. Now, maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe somebody in the comments will be like, no, literally every single Israel country supports or Israel company in Israel supports this. Maybe you're right, guy, random person in the comments, but I don't think so. I'm pretty sure, and this is just a feeling here. This is a feelings-based content right now. I don't know if they do. They probably don't.
Tim Walz currently chairs and has chaired for a while, has like $4.3 billion invested in corporations that are complicit in Israeli apartheid. There's 119 directly in Israeli corporations and Israeli bonds, and like 560 that go into Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, and all those other weapons manufacturers.
So that's coming out of Minnesota taxpayer dollars, right? Like, I live in Minnesota.
Now, again, I'm not the biggest supporter here, but you're giving money to weapons manufacturers, you invest in that, that's just a good investment right there. I'm sorry. I don't know if you guys know this, but people like buying weapons. If you're investing into weapons companies, that's, it may not be the most morally just thing to do in your life, but it is pretty profitable.
Minnesota, and if I ever decide to be a public employee, that's going to be my pension funds. I'm actually part of a delegation of Palestinian Minnesotans that just had their meeting with Governor Walz canceled on the spot, as in 2 minutes before it was supposed to happen.
Okay.
After 10 months of him refusing to meet with us. And he met right away with the synagogues. He went out to a Stand With Israel rally right after October 7th. So he has capacity to check in on his constituents. It's just a matter of which constituents.
Okay. I mean, yeah, but that's how politics, lady, that's just how the government works. They're gonna give more attention to the people who directly affect their campaign more. If you're a minority in this situation in the state of Minnesota and you don't give as much money towards his campaigns and his situations, he's not going to give you as much attention. The meetings, he may have been like, you know what? I don't think he probably doesn't even control his own meetings. He probably has someone who manages the meeting schedule and was like, you know what? We're going to cancel that one. Or we're going to save this for 10 months down the line. And then when he finally saw it go over his desk or what it is, maybe he was like, yeah, guys, I can't really take this meeting right now. I got this other stuff here. And, again, I'm not saying none of this is right or wrong, but that's probably what happened, lady. Calm down on the situation here, because that's, you just got to see how it is. It's not fair, but you probably would have to speak to a governor or someone in your state legislation that is a little bit more sympathetic to your campaign here. Maybe look up all the people in Minnesota who are in the legislature and then reach out to them as well as him. And I'm sure they did that, but I'm just saying, it don't seem too crazy that he canceled the meeting. You know what I mean? Especially with all the things you do know about him before, is realistically, you're not going to change his donations and where his money's going, because that money he sends out comes back with more. And it's just like, yo, what am I going to listen to? All this money in my hand? Or this lady who wants to set up a meeting with me? You know what? Cancel that meeting. I got money to make.
Democrats are portraying this week's Democratic National Convention as a change.
Oh, and both sides are doing that, by the way.
Changing of the political guard. President Joe Biden is expected to give a keynote speech with a symbolic handoff of his party leadership. And on the eve of the convention, though, thousands of protesters took to the streets in downtown Chicago. The protest was organized by an organization that fights for abortion access and LGBTQ rights.
Okay. Wait, is this a Palestine or an abortion rally? Which one? What is happening here?
Everybody here but the Guardian. I'll tell you what.
What's up, guys? It's been a long night. I'm happy to announce this video is sponsored by a dope company called Ground News.
Whoa,
That's
Ground News, guys. You know I love Ground News. You know I love sponsorship. So here is one straight up for you guys. Have you heard of Ground News? Are you familiar with Ground News? Because if you are not, you need to go to groundnews.com/channel 5. That's a forward. The slash goes over here towards the right. It's like a forward slash, not a backslash, forward. Channel 5. So this is what you're going to get from Ground News. You're going to get unbiased news from both sides, guys. So like, let's say you see a topic here. You want to know, okay, here's the topic. What channels are talking about this? Boom. It's going to give you the list of all the top stories with all the, the people who actually like run those stories. The news outlets, and then they're going to tell you, does this outlet, is it more central? Is it more right-leaning or left-leaning with the type of news? How left, how right? And then, you could judge it from there. So let's say you want to learn some information, but you want to get the far right side of it. So then you go to Infowars.com, and you'll be hearing Alex Jones rant about it. Rah, rah, rah. Oh, they're doing this. Oh, they're doing that. But then you want to be like, you know what? What are the left-leaning people saying about it? And then you're going to go to a Crombin or whatever that is right there, and then they're going to be all, I don't know what they sound like, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be all like, guys, well, what we need to really be doing is focusing on how bad these right-wing people are and all they're blah, blah, blah. So you guys have your choice between rah, rah, rah or blah, blah, blah. You guys get to make your decision. Or if you want to just hear some, more centralized news, you probably want to just, honestly, just like pay attention to your local news. If you want more like, less left, right wing, really depending on where you live. So yeah, maybe even just, get this app and just look at what's centralized in the middle here. BBC, they're not even American. They'll give you some, we don't even live in that country type of, responses to the story. So guys, use some of this Ground News, get the Ground News app, learn all about the different sides of the same type of conversation. People have two different conversations for, the same topic all the time, and you'll be seeing both sides. So you won't be uninformed of what your opponent is thinking or saying, because if you don't like them, that's why you need to know more about them. That way you can use their information against them, guys. So this is perfect. Whether you like the side or don't like another side, whether you care more about your side than the others, or you care more about not liking the other side than you care about your side, this is perfect for you because you'll hear both sides. You'll also get a central opinion. So guys, make sure you use this code over here to the bottom left. I might have to move myself when I edit this video, but use that code or go to the link listed down below, guys. There's going to be a link in the description down below where you can go ahead and grab this information from your boy over there at Channel 5. So Andrew, thank you. I know that was a great promo right there. I appreciate it. Whoa, calm down, Andrew. I know the promo was incredible, but now back to you guys.
It's an independent, nonpartisan news aggregate.
Independent, nonpartisan.
www.ground.news. All right. back to the streets.
What do you think about Kamala Harris?
She wants to make it look like she's going to be different than Biden or different than Trump on the Palestinian issue, but I don't think she will. I think she's afraid of the Israel lobby.
And she has a history of supporting the U.S. special relationship with Israel and saying that Israel has a right to defend itself as it conducts its illegitimate operation in which it is an occupying entity bombing their occupied population and killing over 15,000 children.
The Fourth Geneva Convention, Article 49, clearly states the occupying power shall not deport or transfer parts of its own civilian population into the territory it occupies. And the external occupation of Gaza was illegal under international law. They were under a blockade. Israel controlled all entry and exit of people and materials. 94 to 97% of the water was undrinkable. They practiced calorie restriction into Gaza. A high percentage of the children were anemic. There was a high percentage of unemployment in Gaza prior to October 7th, about 40 some odd percent, and that was related to the blockade. Also, journalists like yourselves in Gaza are being targeted.
140 Palestinian
I have
journalists.
heard about that. And that's also crazy because, that means that you're trying to like make sure that this information ain't going out as like it should be. It's like they're covering up things. So
Have been killed since October the 7th and dozens wounded.
More journalists have been killed in Gaza than in World War II. The Gaza war, where there's only 2.3 million people, as well as medical professionals.
Yeah, that's my thing. There's only 2.3 million people in the whole country. It's almost been a year of this happening. Like, come on, guys. Like, outside of just like how I don't like the idea of them taking over, and this feels extremely wrong, and of all countries to do this, Israel, this is very ironic, as you would say. But like at the same time, like, bro, if you're gonna do this, shouldn't you be a little bit more efficient about it? Like, come on, bro. America would have got this done in like 2 weeks at best. And again, I know that sounds crazy. I am still all free Palestine here, but we have to be realistic here. America would have had like 10 McDonald's over there by now.
Incarcerated in the Israeli torture camps. And what is happening is collective punishment against the civilians of Gaza. And we won't stop until there's an end to the occupation.
If we don't get a ceasefire and an arms embargo overall, I don't think they're going to win the election. I think we're going to get Trump again. And in a Trump presidency, the left actually fights. Democrats will do the same thing. They'll just fundraise. But at least the left will fight fascism. Because right now we have fascism in the United States. You don't see any homeless people around here. Why? Because they're probably locked up. It's illegal to be homeless in the United States right now.
That's true.
Fascism is happening now. So you can't threaten us with Trump or any hypothetical fascism when it's already happening.
Yeah. Now, that word is a little bit that word's going to cause a lot of distress in certain people and a lot of people, different types. But here's my thing. We're not like fully fascist yet, but we aren't like fully free. People like to, I know we have a thing where we've made words sound super bad over time. But, things like communism and stuff like that, where it's not, anybody who read the Communist Manifesto know what it means. But if you haven't, then you're probably like, oh, my God, it's so crazy. But, do we really have ownership here? Do we really have freedoms? We have some freedoms. We can say the things we want, but even that's restricted. We can't just own a home. You'll still have to, even if you buy a home, you still have to pay property taxes on it. That tax rate may go up or down depending on your neighborhood, blah, blah, blah. Either way, you're never not paying for it. You never fully own it, because if you stop paying your property taxes, they will take your home. So like, there's nothing you can really do to like, outside of like moving out the grid. Living off the grid isn't like a convenient way to live. So I don't, we have freedoms, but are we more free than like Native Americans who didn't have like the ownership of properties and stuff like that, where you're just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna, we can just go wherever we want to, whenever we want to, do whatever we want, move, just live wherever we want? No, you can't even send your kid to a different school that's outside of your district. You live in an area, you have to like make sure to like register to get your kid to go to a better school. You know, let's say you just live in an impoverished area, bad school around you, your kid has to go to that school. If you just start sending your kid to a different school randomly, they will fine you or put you in jail. All you did was try to send your kid to a better school for a different, better education. But you lived in this area. This is where your home is. Your kid is registered to go to this specific school. You can't just start sending them to a better school. That's not how this works.
No.
So I'm here to tell the Democratic Party and the Democratic candidates that their voters will no longer support unconditional aiding and abetting of genocide.
Sorry to tell you this, lady, but a lot of people will still vote Democrat, and this whole situation won't truly affect them too much. It's sad and it's unfortunate, but that's part of the whole, like, when an issue is a minority issue, it's not going to matter to like the majority of people, so they may not like vote for it completely. Now, this is a lot of people at this event, but there's a lot of people at a lot of events. This isn't like as many people who would show up to like your average Trump rally. I'm not supportive of Trump rallies. I feel like he does way too many of them. Like, bro was president for 4 years, had a rally like 2 times a week. Like, bro, what are you even rallying for at this point? You were already president. It wasn't like campaign rallies. These were like when he was already president, he had way too many rallies for my liking. I was like, yo, too many rallies every week, another rally. What's going on here? But yeah, lady, this is a important issue, but it's not like an issue that the majority of people are thinking about. I bet you there's some people who are about to vote Democrat who probably don't even know what's going on over there. They're just like, yeah, I heard something, but ain't it always something going on over there? Literally, that's how some people are thinking. So as big as this issue is in your like life, in other people's, like the majority of Democrats, and even not even in your, probably even in your area, this might not even be like the biggest Democratic issue to go and face. So it's sad and it's unfortunate. But that is also, kind of how life is.
It's no longer appropriate to say that you're just better than the other guy and that you're going to secure the progressive vote just because.
Kamala Harris, we're under no illusion that the Democrats or the Republicans could ever really do anything to help us.
Guys, how many of these people actually read the Communist Manifesto? I'm going to take a wild guess and say this guy with the red hair right here has not read it. This lady has. This kid with the glasses back here, he read it. This dude, he read like the first couple of chapters, but then he didn't read the whole thing. Like, he read like the first page and he was like, I'm good. This guy read it online, but he didn't like read it. He just like heard about it. And like read a couple of posts that was talking about it online. So that's my, my judgment. So I want you guys to comment down below who in this page here or on this photo right here, this image, who do you think actually read the manifesto?
If let's say
or any other, books talking about communism, things like that.
Was some nice person in there that wanted to materially, they have different.
This dude right here never read Karl Marx. He heard of him and he got a picture of him or something, but he never like read the Communist Manifesto for real. It's not even that long of a book, guys. You can all just read it. It probably takes like maybe an hour at best. It's not a long book. It's what's going on here? Are you part of the bourgeoisie? Like, what's going on? Are you for the proletariat? Come on.
Different interests from us because they have backers from the biggest businesses in the world. We don't pay their bills. They're not going to listen to us. So we don't expect much out of Kamala or the DNC or anybody they put in that seat because regardless, they're going to enact the same policies.
True. This guy understands capitalism. Whoa, maybe he did read the book. He already knows that this is almost a moot point because they're not going to just randomly agree with the protesters outside the DNC. They're going to, agree with the people who's funding their campaigns. Honestly, it feels like if you really want to get it, help out with either side, Democrat or like Republican, conservative or liberal, it feels like the key in America, at least, is money. And I think it reverts back to that capitalism thing I was talking about, where we care more about money than we care about like people and stuff. So like, I feel like, and guys, I know this might sound crazy. I feel like money may help this situation. Now, guys, I know that sounds ridiculous, But hear me out here. Money seems to be fueling the other side of the thing, that they're like, you know, the people who are there you know, rallying against at this moment seem to be donating a lot of money based off of all the things that these people have stated before. So like, it feels like you should donate a lot of money to these people, and then they are going to help you. Now I get it. That's not the easiest thing to do, but that seems to be the solution, unless you want to like also change the economic system that we live in, which is capitalism. And I don't know if you're about to do that. You probably got to probably put money for that too. That's also going to cost you money.
We're constantly hearing vote for the lesser evil, but it's still evil, and I don't feel like supporting that. That's why I'm here.
Oh, you're not going to vote? That's what's up.
Oh yeah.
Hey yo, free Palestine.
Nah, guys. You should go out and vote, man. Go out and vote. It's cool.
Fuck Nestle, bro.
Fuck Nestle.
Their CEO says that water shouldn't be a human right.
That's true. He did say that. But I don't know. Was that the same CEO they have now? Is he still the CEO, the guy who said that? Because, you know, I remember because he wanted to buy lakes and, you know, charge people because they shouldn't be human rights. And it's like, dang, man. Not Nestle.
Fuck that.
They were so innocent. Nestle was so innocent before, when all they did was sell chocolate and products that, you know, definitely weren't good for people.
Get up, it's on Google and shit. Crazy. That's it.
What are you going to tell me next? Coca-Cola also buys people's lakes and pollutes their waters and charges them to even have their natural resources that they had for a long time before this, like hundreds of years. Like, wow. I think I might be surprised if I hear that Coca-Cola or PepsiCo is taking away people's natural resources, ruining them, and then charging them to even use the remaining natural resources they have left. I would be completely surprised. I'd be like, wow, that came out of like left field completely.
Show yourself?
Yes, I drew it. I just bought fabric markers at like Meyer and shit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Easy.
Who do you
think made those markers? I don't know if you know this, but there's a company called G3M. 3M makes like a lot of like literally most things in America. Like you can make literally a whole building. They make pencils, supplies, the insulation for buildings, the materials for buildings. They literally make like everything. You can build a whole office building with all 3M materials. It's going to be hard to get away from these major companies that support bad stuff that you don't like. You know, it's going to be very difficult to do that in America because, you know, all those like, what are they, conglomerations and stuff like that. Like, bro, this is, it's going to be a rough one, buddy.
Feel most connected to?
Right.
Be careful where you get that marker from.
Now I feel most connected to Sudan and Congo, who are also going through genocides of their own that are extremely, extremely connected to Israel. It's Israeli companies that are putting them through this genocide. So I feel very much like we can't continue with our struggle without mentioning the people of Congo and Sudan, but also
the whole Epstein thing was about black.
You know, it's funny. And I know he's about to go into some black stuff, and that's about to be crazy. But I think the one thing that I find interesting is the, like, how capitalism has even affected this side. Like, look at the earring she's wearing. It's supportive, but, you know, that's like somebody's making money off of that. You know, like this scarf, and I'm sure she bought it, is probably supportive and it means something. But somebody also made money off of that, and I don't know, like, it seems crazy that even in this situation, capitalism is showing its face.
Without mentioning the people of Congo and Sudan, but also
the whole Epstein thing was about blackmail. They would get you having sex with the kid.
Oh, he was talking about just blackmail, not like black males, like, you know. I get it.
Then we own you, we operate you, we'll pay you well, but you do what we say, and if you turn on us, we'll kill you.
I don't know about that last part, but I'm pretty sure most of it was to, you know, get a bunch of rich people to like do a bunch of dirt, and then you'd get the connections. Because here's the thing, and this also goes back to it because rich people have money. And a guy like Epstein used money to do illegal stuff, knowing that like if he had enough money and enough connections, he probably won't get in trouble for it. And if he does, it won't be for a long time. And what happened? If you look at the history of who Epstein is, he almost came out of thin air. And then he became like a personal, like financial advisor for people like Donald Trump and things in the 80s, just a bunch of like rich people. And they always talk about how he brought them to these parties and had all these girls. And there's literally like news articles, like the very first news article you can ever look up about Epstein talks about how he has extravagant parties, hangs out with billionaires. Who is this guy? I think it's like a New York Times article that's asking who is this guy and why does he have so many connections with all these rich people? And the leading theory is that he was a guy who just had some connections to some really underground, like gross stuff. Rich people paid him to take part in that. And then he just formed connections and got more money and had a quote unquote job based off of it, where he really didn't do anything. You know, they're playing it off like he's telling people to invest in the right stocks, but in real life, he's just, hey, give me a bunch of money and I'll introduce you to some underage people that you can have a good time with. And that's eventually he got enough money to make an island, and that's exactly what was happening on that island. Yeah, shout outs to Michael Jackson for apparently being the only person to get on the island and 10 minutes later being like, I am getting the heck out of here. So like, you know, I know two people, former presidents, who were at that island, hung out with the guy a lot. Ironically, they're on both sides. One of them's currently running again for president. Crazy.
You know, so, we're just trying to really ease the temperature back a little bit.
Yeah.
This aggression will not stand, man.
What aggression?
In Israel, there's a lot of aggression there.
It's a moral imperative to be here today, because you can't stand by and watch the body count rack up daily without coming out and saying something.
From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Palestine will be free! Palestine will be free!
We feel betrayed by the democratic machine. A lot of the Muslim Palestinian community voted Democrat, and the Democrats are failing us. And
Guys, Democrats don't equal liberals. Republicans don't equal conservative. The Democratic Party and liberals do, and I know it feels like it's gonna mesh, but it doesn't always do that. And I know Republican and conservatism seem like they're gonna be like the perfect mesh, but it doesn't always happen like that. People vary, and the parties themselves don't always represent the the ideals that they spew. So I get it. You're thinking like, oh man, I come to this country, Democrats are supposed to be all liberal and leftist and stuff like that. No, the Democrats are like capitalists. That's just another form of like new capitalism. They just like, I can't even think of the name of it, but they like capitalism. Republicans do too. Now, if you are just a person who supports them, you probably are not actually a Democrat or Republican. You're probably a conservative or liberal. These Democrats and Republicans use your conservatism and liberalism to get your votes, and then they get money. So I know it sounds like it should be all, this should fit perfectly here. No, this is the piece of the puzzle you're looking at. Both sides have already got this piece filled out here. So, don't confuse the two. I know it feels confusing. It's not. If you're in politics, you care more about money. I don't think you could become more than the mayor of a city, mayor at best, without being corrupted by capitalism and making money. I don't even know if you can become a mayor without being like corrupted by capitalism.
my family is still there, and they're afraid for their kids, even in the West Bank. Their kids are being attacked wherever they go. I mean, you can be attacked and you can be killed just any minute. That's in the West Bank where there is no Hamas.
The West Bank is completely sealed off by apartheid walls, checkpoints. Even without the checkpoints and walls, Israeli settlers would hide in the roads and put rocks in the road to prevent Palestinians from crossing. And when the Palestinians would stop, they'd come and beat them. that set things on fire, houses, businesses on fire, with the protection of the IDF. And it's just terrible over there.
We can't really enjoy our families here because you feel guilty to really live normal and
fuck Kamala Harris. She's a genocidal piece of shit cop that doesn't deserve to be here.
She's like really weird, you know, so it's like she's not funny, but like she's unintentionally funny to laugh at. You feel me?
Bro, what are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? You are unintentionally funny to laugh at. You're just here for the memes. You don't even care about politics, do you? Like, are you just here for the memes? You're wearing a Rey Mysterio hat right now, or a face mask. Like, what are you doing, bro? I get it. The Mexican flag pops off with the Rey Mysterio mask, and maybe the colors are the same as Palestine. But what are you doing here, brother? What are you doing?
They don't care about black and brown people. As long as they get their funding, their money, and the interest groups continues to fund them, they're going to decide and do whatever that interest group tells them to.
Hey, this guy gets it.
Can I ask you what your patches mean?
Sure, this is Hamas. This is Hezbollah. These are resistance, legitimate resistance movements.
Whoa, buddy. You want to run that to me one more time?
This is Hezbollah.
What your patches mean?
Sure, this is Hamas. This is Hezbollah.
Okay. All right. Guys, remember when I said there's crazy people on both sides and they're both angry and yeah, this is... I don't know about this guy. Maybe have him on a little bit of a list. Like, I'm not saying he got to be on the list, but let's say there's a second list where you're just looking at the people, and then if they do anything else, they should be on the other list. I think he should be on at least the second list, if not the first list. You know, maybe he should just like write down his name and like just make sure if he types in anything crazy in the search history, we check that. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, he seemed like he might be a cool guy, but also he's on the list.
Resistance, legitimate resistance.
If I'm running the list, he's on the list, guys. He's not like number one, but he's at least on the like, maybe I'll check up on him later type of list. Like, did he do anything crazy? That's the list he's on.
That are fighting for Palestinian rights, that are fighting for justice.
And all the women across the globe who are affected by U.S. and Western imperialism.
You know what's really affecting women around the world is the lack of real pockets. Look where her phone is right now.
And all the women across...
That's her phone right down there. Like, she ain't even got like real pockets because, you know, the women's fashion industry has refused to give them real pockets. Meanwhile, you know, you look at men, we got like way too many. We got, our pockets are too deep sometimes. I'm like, yo, I lost my phone. It's still in my pocket. It's just all the way down there. I got so much space. Meanwhile, she either got to put her in the back pocket. They usually got a back pocket. It's not really good for even having phones in. I'm always like, dang, somebody could steal your phone. Or they got to, you know, have a purse and stuff, which I get it. She got a bag, but like, you know.
Across the globe who are affected by U.S. and Western imperialism. You know, Gaza, for example. Women in Gaza don't have reproductive justice because they don't even have basic health care. They don't have basic human rights, right? You know, there's bombs dropping on them every single day.
True.
So if in the United States we want to demand reproductive justice here, we need to also be demanding reproductive justice for the women in Gaza.
Okay, we do. I get that, but also I do think we should probably focus on, you know, with a situation like that with reproductive rights, we should probably have that figured out within our country before we like, you know, start demanding those type of things with other countries. And this is where these type of movements start to get a little fuzzy, because it's like, you can't just ask for that right there. You have to like, you know, like we got to get that stuff figured out first. Like, we can't even all get abortions around in America. You know, it's all state to state. What if you like, hey, we asked them, but you know, they are still you know, at the end of the day, they're going through a war, but they may be a more conservative state. They may be like, what are you talking about? What? That's not even a big deal for us right now, lady. Get out of here.
Workers of the world unite. We have nothing to lose but our chains, a world to win. Join the Revolutionary Communist International wherever you are. And watch Channel 5.
Hey.
Think about everything terrible in this world.
Whoa, look who here. Look who it is. Look who is Mr. Angry Man himself, guy. What are you doing? Look at how real journalism is happening. What's your article gonna be about? I can't wait to read the Guardian's article about whatever this guy's talking about.
It always goes
It's
back
gonna be
to
trash.
money. A communist America, you're going to see basically the eradication of things like homelessness, poverty.
Fuck you, fuck your mother. In fact, I got $20. I'll go fuck your mother.
Wow.
Maybe she'll give me $10 back. So
That's a Guardian, bro.
Wow, bro, that wasn't even the best insult you could do. Even with that insult, you could frame it in a better way. Bro, give me 10. I need to get $10 back because I'm about to go bang your mom. Your dad, he said he's going to watch. So like, I'm going to need some change. I mean, all I got is a 20 on me. I don't know. She don't got an extra $10. So I'm going to need it from you. Like, there's better ways you can like formulate that joke. And you're a journalist, man. You're supposed to be like thinking and writing stuff all day. You can't even write good like insults for real. I know he thought about that before he said it. I know that was like a pre-planned thing. So that's why I'm giving him even more, like, I'm even more upset because that wasn't even like an off-the-cuff type of joke. It had too much setup for it. I know he thought about that joke before he came over to this guy. It was like, if I see him again, I'm going to tell him this. Bro, whack.
Why does it?
You call my mama a hoe there?
Crazy, dang. That's wild.
Yeah.
People from the Guardian acting like that, that's crazy as fuck.
Crazy. Bro, what? That is crazy. I just noticed something else that was crazy, but yeah.
I said, hey, bro, let's squash it. He told me you want to fuck my mom.
And then they upset because you're wearing a mask? Yeah. Do you see how they act when people come out here and protest for the truth? And then you see they got the gas mask on and shit for what? Like, man, like they ready? Like, what the fuck? Ain't nobody did nothing.
I understand why cops are like this in these situations, but also it does outwardly show, it's like an outward aggression just by appearance. It's just like me showing up like this is almost an act of aggression, especially for a more peaceful protest. Like if y'all just came up as regular cops, doing this, it might be cool. But it's the fact that you guys are anticipating violence and this is the equipment you're wearing. It's like, this is how I protect myself from the anticipated violence. It's showing a visual act of aggression towards the people who may be there peacefully. But, obviously there's numbers. So for you guys, it's intimidating. For them, it's intimidating. It's like you add intimidation to a situation like this, it only exacerbates it. Versus if you just show up as regular cops, it might actually cool down the situation. I mean, you guys are still cops, so you should be able to protect yourself without the added stuff. And even if that is necessary later, you can come back with it. But yeah, it's just a little bit much.
We just sitting here chanting, but it's a problem.
They were getting ready to use chemical weapons on a bunch of fucking citizens who care about what this country's doing.
Well, yeah, they were going to use pepper spray.
They want to fucking hurt us and put us down instead of listening to us. They know we don't have...
buddy, I'm going to be honest, though. If I'm a cop, I'm looking at you specifically. Like, you, buddy, you are the guy that I'm like... Yeah, go ahead and bring out that SWAT team and all the extra stuff that I literally just got finished saying how it's a, intimidating thing. Bring it out for this guy because he's wearing goggles, a freaking mask, gloves, all black, got a backpack on. What are you doing? What's in the backpack, buddy? That's what I'm asking if I'm a cop. What's in your backpack, bro?
Any other fucking options?
I don't trust
It's just
that.
fucking Harris.
Look how angry he sounds. You don't be sounding this angry with a backpack, bro. I gotta ask questions now.
Or a goddamn crazy fascist. And the moment we stand up for ourselves and try and say some shit about it, they
Remember
try
that
and
list?
fucking gas us.
Guys, remember that list? He's on the list. He's not even on the second list where you got to check up on him. He's on the first list where we like, what are you doing?
What type of bullshit is that?
You go outside.
Fuck
There's a
that
guy.
shit.
There's a guy.
We should have
looking
more options in this fucking country than a fucking cop and a fucking fascist.
Nah, bro, you're too angry. You're too angry.
Hollywood and Vine.
Fuck the authority, Channel 5 News.
Channel 55. We don't fuck with customs.
Hey.
And 5 is the best number.
Hey, shout outs to that. Shout outs to Andrew Callaghan. This was a great video. I know it's a little political. Some people are going to be upset, but hey, guys, it is what it is. I had a good time. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and, go check out Channel 5 as well. Check out the full video without my additional commentary if you want that. But if you want more, check out this video here, which YouTube thinks that you might like. But guys, as always, I do want to say thank you. I love you. Bye.